Okay, so we are very happy to again have this opportunity to associate with all of you and with the Lord Nityananda and also with the spiritual master. We will actually today, I will start with sharing the screen and here. And I will also just share a little sound. We both to function. I use it in the background today. That's fitting very nicely with Mayapur. Purnamasi Mataji, can you tell me if the music is not too loud? Is it okay, the background music?
Actually, I hear everything very, very low, the sound, the whole sound.
Okay. So I should put a little louder, the background music?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes.
Little bit.
Yeah. 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 Oh, okay. Hopefully it's okay like this. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so we are ready. And so we will start today with actually with the spiritual master, with the principle of the Guru Tattva. And the principle we will look today is that the spiritual master or Guru is waking the disciple up from the dream of material existence. And I was hearing recently a lecture from Keshava Maharaj when the question came to him about how to deal with unfulfilled expectations. And Maharaj gave a very strong answer. He said, we have to understand the purpose of this world. And then when we understand the purpose of the world, we actually understand the functioning. Why is it functioning like this? And the point he was bringing is that this world is made to take us out of the world. This world is actually filled with disappointment. It will never fulfill our expectations, so that we actually, the living entity, understand that it's not a place where we are supposed to live, and that we are actually trying to get escape from this material world and go back to the spiritual world. So this is one of the tasks that the spiritual master has, is to wake up the disciple from the dream of material existence. And this dream is to think that actually we will find the pleasure we are looking for inside of our heart in this material world. So some thoughts on waking up. I was just remembering how Lord Krishna himself is waking up in the morning, and Mother Yashoda is approaching him, and Krishna is opening his eyes and just see Mother Yashoda is there. So he closes again his eyes and smile. And then Mother Yashoda is caressing the body of Krishna, and Krishna is repeatedly opening the eyes, closing the eyes, opening the eyes, closing the eyes. And it is said that Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, is actually not willing to let Krishna, she wants to stay with Krishna. Therefore, it's very difficult for Krishna to wake up. So this is in the spiritual world, but in the material world, we actually are very, very, very often into this dream of material existence, and the spiritual master is there to take us out of this dream of material existence. And this is a quote from His Holiness Sachinandana Swami that he gave recently in a lecture in London. Andy?
Guru is like a mother, waking her child up and interrupting his dreams. If we want to maintain a lively relationship with our spiritual master, We must be willing that our dreams are interrupted. The dreams that material life will make us happy.
So this is definitely a principle that is there, that the spiritual master actually has this function or this task to wake us up from the dream of material illusion and direct us towards the spiritual world, the spiritual realm. So now we are going to enter our Lila Katha for today. And this is a beautiful picture of Mayapur. And we will actually have our first meditation here at the banks of the Mayapur, of the banks of the Ganga. So please watch nicely the picture, and in your mind feel like you are there at the banks of the Ganga. And now you can close your eyes and stay there on the banks of the Ganga. Remember your spiritual identity, that you are eternal spiritual soul, part and parcel of the Lord, of Radha and Krishna. Now you can offer your obeyed senses and pray for being allowed to enter into the realm of Mayapur Dham and be able to witness the pastimes of Lord Nityananda. And hear the sounds of the birds. You can smell the fragrance of jasmine flowers. And now, still in your meditation, you come closer to Mother Ganga and observe her beautiful and sweet, gentle flow. From time to time, small dolphins are coming to take some air and dive back into the flow of the river. Now you can enter the Ganga to take your bath. The water is nicely warm and very energizing feeling by touching Ganga. Continue entering Ganga up that you have the level of the water on your chest. Feel like Ganga is not only touching your body, but is entering into your heart. Feel how she's purifying your entire consciousness. And take 3 dips in a very reverential mood. You can again offer some prayers. And now you can come out of the water and you can offer your gratitude to your spiritual master for being allowed to enter today into the spiritual dimension of Mayapur-Dham. And now you can open your eyes again. Sorry. Okay. And now, yeah. We will continue on this morning journey with one recitation of 6 of auspicious holy name of Lord Nityananda, that when they are recited between 6 morning and 8:30, which is exactly where we are, we will become free from all difficulties and attain all his most cherished desires. Very soon we will receive the mercy of Sri Caitanya Dev.
Nityananda Vadudentur Vasuda Pranavallabha Janavi Jivitapati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of eternal bliss. He is the moon of all Avadutas and the beloved of the life breath of Vasudha, his wife. Lord Nityananda is the husband enthusing Janavi with life. Nityananda Ram bestows ecstatic love for Krishna, and he is the Lord and Master of the devotees.
Sri Nityananda Ram ki Jai. So next time we will see the next 6 names, and I would suggest that maybe you can learn this part of the mantra and repeat it every day in this particular time of the morning. I will share later on this slide into the group. And now we will enter into the reading part of today. And maybe we could ask if maybe, wait, we need to open the file also so that I can share it on the screen. Today things do not work anyway. I think I have to unshare the screen shortly so that it can work. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Can I share if you want?
I have it right away. But thank you for being ready to to help me. But I got it. I have it right away. Okay, so I will share again the screen. There we go. And maybe we could ask Mataji Purnamasi if you would like to start the reading. Actually, today we will have 2 parts, 2 pastimes, and they are actually quite small. I think this one have only 1 page and half, so maybe here we will just keep Purnamasi as the reader, and then we will share afterwards the reading with other readers. And again, as we go through the reading, please try to take mental pictures of the scene that you are hearing, and please also try to feel the emotions and feelings that are taking place into the pastime.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nityananda Charitamrita, Madhyakanda, Chapter 5, Eating Pastimes of Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. Am I audible enough? It's okay?
Yes, very good.
Lord Vishvambara went to the place of Lord Nityananda to invite him for lunch. Lord Gauranga said, "Oh Gosai, today kindly accept lunch at my house. But one thing you must remember, do not play any mischief." Nityananda caught hold of his own ears and murmured, "Vishnu, Vishnu." He continued like a madman playing mischief. Then he said, "You consider me a naughty boy. Actually, you see everyone as being the same as yourself." Saying this, both of them began to laugh, and they left for Vishvambara's home, discussing about Krishna on the way. When they reached the house, the relatives headed by Gadadhar welcomed them. They sat together inside the house. Ishana gave water to both Vishvambar and Nityananda for washing their feet. They both sat down for lunch. Both the lords sat down to eat. The scene resembled Sri Ram and Lakshman eating together at the house of Kaushalya. They both began to eat just like in their former pastimes, with loving exchanges. Mother Sachi happily served them food. Suddenly, the 2 plates of food turned into 3 plates right in front of her. The 2 lords began to smile. Then Mother Sachi returned with more food. Instead of the 2 lords, she found 2 small boys, no more than 5 years of age, sitting there. She saw the 2 most attractive boys with black and white colors. Both were 4-handed and naked. They were decorated with conch, a disc, a club, a lotus, a plow, and a stick. They were also decorated with Srivatsa and Kaustuba gems and wore fish-shaped earrings. She saw her daughter-in-law within the heart of her son. Then, all of a sudden, she could not see anything more. Mother Sachi fell senseless to the ground. Her whole body and clothes became wet due to tears of love. The rice she was carrying in her hand scattered all over the room. Seeing this extraordinary scene made Mother Sachi swoon. Mahaprabhu quickly got up and washed his hands. He picked up his mother, saying, "Oh, mother, please get up. Please calm down. Why have you suddenly fallen on the ground?" After a while, Mother Sachi revived and quickly tied her hair. She spoke not a word, but simply cried inside her room. Breathing heavily, her whole body shivered. She became filled with love of God and forgot everything else. Then Ishana cleaned the room, leftovers, and kitchen paraphernalia. Ishana served Mother Sachi constantly. He was thus the most fortunate person within the 14 worlds. Like this, various pastimes were enacted every day. No one except the confidential servants knows the purport of these pastimes. After they finished lunch, Mother Sachi anointed the bodies of both Sri Gauranga and Sri Nityananda Prabhu with sandalwood paste. She then offered various items for worship, such as flower garlands. Seeing Nityananda satiated the eyes of Mother Sachi. She kept staring at Nityananda's face, being maddened by her affection for him. Sri Gauranga told his mother, "You must treat Nityananda as your own son. Take care of him more affectionately than me." Mother Sachi then looked on the face of Nityananda, thinking him as her own son. She said, "From now on, you are my son. Please be kind to my Vishwambar. From today on, both of you are my sons." Speaking like this, tears flowed constantly down from Mother Sachi's eyes. Out of motherly feelings, she took Nityananda on her lap. Nityananda offered obeisances at Mother Sachi's feet, thinking her his affectionate mother. He sweetly said to her, "Mother, what you say is true. I can declare with confidence that I am actually your son. Oh, Mother, please do not consider my offenses. Know for certain that I am without a doubt your son." Filled with the emotion of being Nityananda's mother, tears flowed from the eyes of Mother Sachi and her voice choked. Both Sri Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu merged in the ocean of motherly affection. By seeing the two sons, Mother Sachi became pleased and pacified. Accepting Sri Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet.
Thank you. Beautiful. Anyone would like to share something? Any details? Anything particular there from these pastimes that that touch them? It's actually a very short pastime, just one page, but there are two very powerful events taking place. And if maybe because it's very short, there is maybe not much to say. Maybe we can directly close our eyes and review the pastimes we were hearing in our mind's eyes. We can remember how in the beginning Caitanya and Nityananda were arguing or joking, laughing. Caitanya Mahaprabhu was telling Gauranga, do not make mischief, please. And how they went to the house of Lord Caitanya together, and they were speaking about Krishna on the way. See how they were welcomed and sat down to take their lunch. And see Mother Sachi serving them the meal, and suddenly she saw that there was a third plate there. She went to look for more food, and when she came back, she saw two young boys, one white, one black, extremely beautiful, having 4 arms, with club, disc, lotus, and shake earrings. See how it was too much for Sachi Devi to behold that, and she could not see anything and fell on the ground. See how Caitanya Mahaprabhu washed his hands and came to help Sachi Devi to stand again. How Sachi Devi tied her hair and went in her room where she incessantly cried, being overwhelmed in love of God. see later on how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sachi Devi, you should accept Nityananda as your own son. Sachi will look into the beautiful face of Nityananda with unblinking eyes. So much love and affection for Nityananda was flowing in her heart. Chaitanya said, you please accept her as your son. And Nityananda said, yes, I also accept you as my mother, and touched her feet. Nityananda sat on the lap of Sachi Devi, and their hearts were melting in ecstatic love. Cool. Thank you. This one for a little while, and we will move forward. Yeah. This was the eating pastimes of Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. And if I remember well, Vrindavan Das Thakur said that every day was such a pastimes going on in the association of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Please, if any one of you would like to share any insight or any particular detail you remember of the pastimes, or you would like to meditate more on the pastimes, just feel free to unmute yourself and share. But if nothing is there, no problem, we can just move forward. Okay, so move forward. Before we go to the reading of the next pastime, I would suggest that we do a small meditation on Lord Nityananda. And we'll see a beautiful picture of Lord Nityananda. So please watch very carefully from the feet of Lord Nityananda up to the head of Lord Nityananda. To take the image in the consciousness. Now we will hear about some of Lord Nityananda's qualities and pastimes. And again, we will try to read them 3 times like we did last time, and try to memorize or try to visualize some of those qualities. Divya Kishori Mataji, are you able to read? Or are
Yes,
you in
Prabhuji.
the... Yes? Please read it
Yes.
3 times in a slow way so that we can try to memorize. And as we hear that, we try to remember the picture of Lord Nityananda we were seeing.
Yes. Nityanand Prabhu was always merged in ocean of transcendental love of Krishna. He constantly behaved like an ordinary child. He loved everyone and spoke with them in a sweet voice. He often danced, sang, played musical instruments, and laughed to himself. Sometimes, out of his own sentiment, he roared loudly, striking everyone with wonder. In the rainy season, when the Ganga filled with fierce waves and crocodiles, Lord Nityananda fearlessly swam and floated in her waters. Nityananda Prabhu was always merged in an ocean of transcendental love of Krishna. He constantly behaved like an ordinary child. He loved everyone and spoke with them in a sweet voice. He often danced, sang, played musical instruments, and laughed to himself. Sometimes, out of his own sentiment, he roared loudly, striking everyone with wonder. In the rainy season, when the Ganga filled with fierce waves and crocodiles, Lord Nityananda fearlessly swam and floated in her waters. Nityananda Prabhu was always merged in ocean of transcendental love of Krishna. He constantly behaved like an ordinary child. He loved everyone and spoke with them in a sweet voice. He often danced, sang, played musical instruments, and laughed to himself. Sometimes, out of his own sentiment, he roared loudly, striking everyone with wonder. In the rainy season, when the Ganga filled with fierce waves and crocodiles, Lord Nityananda fearlessly swam and floated in her waters.
Thank you. I would like to hear from you. What do you remember from what we read? Anyone remember anything?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, please.
He was behaving like an ordinary child.
Purnamasi?
And for me, was out of his own sentiments, he roared loudly, and he laughed to himself. He was so much absorbed that he was not in need of anyone else supporting him in his own feelings.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Someone else?
Like Mataji told that he was like an ordinary child. So like an ordinary child, he didn't thought that in Ganga he would be hit by the crocodiles. He just went into just like a mad small child and who doesn't know danger or no danger.
I like that he loved everyone, and he was speaking to everyone with a sweet voice. Okay. So we'll go now to the second reading, which is Lord Gauranga glorifies Lord Nityananda. And we can see maybe Aman, would you like to read? I will just have to change the screen. Yeah, chapter 7. Aman, are you there? Are you able to read? Yeah.
Prabhuji, he is not.
If you are able, if not, no problem. We could also ask Nupur or Vajanti to read. If you are.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. Can I read?
Okay, please read.
Nityananda Charitamrita, Madhya Khanda, Chapter 7, Lord Gauranga glorifies Lord Nityananda. Both Lord Vishwambar and Nityananda Prabhu has lived in Navadvip, enjoying various pastimes. Nityananda Prabhu was always merged in the ocean of transcendental love of Krishna. He constantly behaved like an ordinary child. He loved everyone and spoke with them in a sweet voice. He often danced, sang, played musical instruments, and laughed to himself. Sometimes, out of his own sentiments, he rode loudly, striking everyone with wonder. In the rainy season, when the Ganges filled with fierce waves and crocodiles, Lord Nityananda fearlessly swam and floated in her waters. Though everyone who saw him floating in the Ganges would lament, shouting, "Alas, alas!" Nityananda continued to float in ecstasy among the crocodiles. He floated in the Ganges, absorbed in the mood of Ananta. Not understanding this, people became filled with lamentation. Sometimes Nityananda would fall down unconscious in ecstasy. He would sometimes remain so for 3 or 4 days. In this way, Nityananda enjoyed countless inconceivable pastimes. I am unable to describe them all, even with millions of mouths. One day, by providence, Nityananda arrived where Vishambhar was sitting. He was naked and smiling. Tears of love were constantly flowing from his eyes. He repeatedly shouted, "Nimai Pandit of Nadia is my life and soul." Seeing Nityananda's enchanting, radiant naked form, Sri Gauranga began to smile. He quickly took off the cloth tied on his head and put it on Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda simply laughed. The Lord personally smeared sandalwood paste on the body of Nityananda. He then put a flower garland on Nityananda. Sri Gauranga put Nityananda in front of him and began to offer prayers as the devotees listened attentively. He prayed to Lord Nityananda thus: "Your name is Nityananda and your form is Nityananda. You are indeed the abode of eternal bliss, non-different from Balaram. You are wandering to the holy places. Your accepting food is simply filled with eternal bliss. Who has a power to understand you? You are the supreme absolute truth and are as good as Krishna." The most magnanimous Nityananda was totally absorbed in the mellows of Sri Gauranga. Lord Gauranga wholly approved of whatever he said and did. Sri Gauranga asked Nityananda, "Please give me one of your copinas. I have a desire to keep it." After saying this, the Lord took a coffin from Lord Nityananda and tore it into small pieces. He distributed those pieces of Nityananda Prabhu's coffin to all the Vaishnavas. Lord Gauranga then said to all the Vaishnavas, "All of you tie this piece of cloth on your head." What to speak of the Vaishnavas, even the masters of mystic perfection desire this piece of clothing. One can surely get devotional service to Vishnu only by the mercy of Nityananda. Know that Nityananda is the complete potency of the Supreme Lord. There is no one more dear to Krishna than Nityananda. He eternally serves Krishna as a companion, a bed, an ornament, an associate, and a brother. The qualities of Nityananda are incomprehensible to the Vedas. He is the father, the protector, and the friend of our humanity. His dealings are full of transcendental mellows of a Krishna. If one serves Nityananda, he will attain loving devotional service to Krishna without a doubt. All of you should tie this piece of Nityananda's coffin on your head with devotion. You could worship this precious place at your home with great respect,
Thank you,
receiving the
Nuku. Thank you so much for your reading. And maybe Bejanti can read further.
Preceding the order of the Lord, all the devotees respectfully tied the piece of the kopin on their head. Shri Gauranga continued, listen, my dear devotees. All of you drink the water that has washed Nityananda's lotus feet. Just by drinking that water, one will attain unflinching devotion to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. Instructed by the Lord, all devotees then washed the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda and drank the water respectfully. In fact, every devotee drank the water 5 or 7 times. Nityananda was, however, completely lost in rapture as he continued to laugh. Mahaprabhu Shri Gauranga personally distributed the Charitamrita of Lord Nityananda with great jubilation. After drinking that water, all the devotees went insane and loudly chanted, Hari, Hari! And someone said,
Today my life has become successful.
Another person said,
Today I have become a servant of Krishna.
Someone else said,
Today has been an auspicious day for me.
And another said,
The water that has washed the lotus feet of Nityananda is very tasteful. In fact, the sweetness of my mouth does not diminish at all.
Oh, what a wonderful influence of the Charitamrita of Lord Nityananda. As soon as all the devotees drank it, they all became agitated. Some of them danced, some of them sang, others rolled on the ground.
The ecstasy was too much.
Yeah, I think also. Okay, I share again, and we can continue. Okay, yeah.
What a wonderful influence of the Charanamrita of Lord Nityananda. As soon as all the devotees drank it, they all became agitated. Some of them danced, some of them sang, others rolled on the ground, while others shouted loudly. Then all the devotees happily started Nam Sankirtan. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, they all began to dance. Soon, Shri Gaurachandra rose and began to dance wonderfully while roaring like a lion. Instantly, Nityananda also got up, and then both the lords began to dance all around the devotees. Someone fell on another person, while another caught him in his arms. Someone tried to take the dust of another to put on his head, and someone embraced another and began to cry. It is very difficult to describe the activities of the devotees at that time. No one was afraid to dance with the lords. Both the lords and their servants danced together. Nityananda and Gauranga embraced each other, joyfully dancing in ecstasies. Being mad with transcendental loving mellows, the Lord of Vaikuntha danced along with his associates. The pastimes of the Lord are endless. The Vedas describe these pastimes as appearance and disappearance. After dancing throughout the day, Lord Gaurahari then sat down surrounded by his associates. He clapped his hands 3 times and said in a grave and pretentious manner,
Oops.
Whoever puts faith and devotion in this Nityananda Svarup actually does it to me. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva constantly worship his lotus feet. Therefore, all of you should keep love and devotion in him. If anyone maintains even a tinge of enmity towards Nityananda, then even if such person is a devotee, is not dear to me. If hair that has touched Nityananda's body touches anyone, then Lord Krishna will never leave such a person. Hearing this word from the Lord, all the devotees loudly exclaimed,
Jai,
Jai, Jai!
Jai!
And if one hears this topic with devotion, Lord Gaurachandra becomes his life and soul. Those who have personally seen this pastime of Nityananda Svarup certainly knows its glories. The dear fortunate associates of Lord Gauranga know many such wonderful glories of Nityananda. Accepting Shri Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Shri Nityananda Rama ki jai.
Jai. So please again close your eyes and try to go again through the pastimes. You can see how Lord Caitanya was on the banks of the Ganga and Nityananda appeared there. Very beautiful, very shining, very innocent. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a piece of the cloth. Yeah, he took the piece of the cloth he had on his head to dress Nityananda, who was naked at that time. And then he asked Nityananda for his kopin, and he took pieces that he gave to all the devotees, telling them that by having this item, they will be fully protected from material energy. See how all the devotees took this piece of cloth and put it around their heads. With full respect and appreciation for this very, very special Mahaprasad. See how then they washed the feet of Lord Nityananda. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great eagerness distributed this holy water to the devotees. Some they were drinking 5 times, 7 times. And they all went insane in ecstatic love. Some were shouting, tears were flowing from their eyes. Some were dancing and some rolling on the ground. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started Kirtan, and they all danced together in ecstatic love. Embracing each other, trying to catch the dust of each other's lotus feet, roaring in ecstasy, with eyes filled with tears. Take time to witness this amazing Kirtan event. Slowly open your eyes, and we have done our meditation for today, our Nityananda meditation. We started by taking our bath in the Ganga. We were meditating on the qualities of Lord Nityananda. We were also touching on the point that this is one of the tasks of the spiritual master, to wake us up from the dream of material existence. And the Lord come to this world actually to, not that we understand that this world is illusion, but that we become attracted to go to the spiritual world and to become again is direct associate in the spiritual world, to attract us into the spiritual dimension. So that was for today's meditation. I hope many pictures, many feelings were passing through you, through your heart, and eventually you capture some of them and keep some of them with you for the day. And wish you a wonderful day. I don't know if any one of you has some concluding words or would like to share something from today's session.
Also, but few things that what I understand, Nityananda Prabhu, when he was laughing, like, so how what was that atmosphere? I could not imagine, like some were crying, they were in ecstasy. So it's really wonderful here. I could imagine that. I don't know how a person feels when it's in ecstasy. So it's something.
Nupur, yeah, I don't know. Did the other understand Nupur, or the voice was, yeah. Nupur, could you tell it again, but without the video, because the internet was too bad. But I see actually she's not in the list. Most probably the internet was too poor, and she was. Let's see if she's coming back. But Divya Kishori has also something.
For sure, she was touched by the ecstasies. She was, this I understood.
Divya Kishori.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm so grateful that every week this is like for me a class on Guru Tattva and reminding of my relationship to my spiritual master, to our spiritual master. So I'm very grateful for this, and thank you for touching every week with this topic of Lord Nityananda. And the last line which we read today was that there are many pastimes which the associates of Lord Nityananda only know. So I was just contemplating that the spiritual teachers, when they tell these pastimes, that there are still many more pastimes which the associates of Lord Nityananda know. So all the spiritual masters are the associates of Lord Nityananda. So they can tell us many more pastimes which will come, like so I was just contemplating on this one point, and also all the feelings that is happening between Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga, that can be so much visualized, and I can also remember it till 2-3 days. But after next 4 days, I don't remember. And before the starting of the class, I'm able to still recall something, so that because today is the class, I should think what happened last week. So I am just thinking that how can I remember for the last 4 days when I just forget Lord Nityananda. And only the 3 days when we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it will be there. Then like 4 days it will go. So what should I try to do that I keep on remembering these past times? Because I really want to go back to Krishna, like you said just now, that Krishna comes to attract us. So how can I stay attracted to this pastimes of Lord Nityananda?
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. It's actually so important that we, how you say, train this remembrance. And it's nice to hear that after on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you still have some remembrance coming up. What you can do is maybe on Monday or on Tuesday, you take 15 minutes actually to read one of those pastimes, because they are also quite short. I think in 10 minutes or 15 minutes you have read, and then you close the eyes and you also try to recall what it is. Maybe you read another time, or even what we do when we read 3 times. It was like part of a paragraph that have beautiful description. You read it few times and then you close the eyes and try to remember them. So you again take it inside, and then it will again last for a few days when you take it inside. So what you can do if you don't have the Sangha during the week, just take maybe 15 minutes where you read a little part and you really try to remember. And when you do this remembering exercise, you take it deep. When you remember, when you read a few times, you remember, you take it really deep. And when it's really deep, it stays for sometimes. So maybe during the week, once or twice, you really take the 15 minutes or half an hour to really read again and again and again. Repetition helps to bring it deeper and deeper. And then you try to visualize in your mind, try to remember, and then it will be really present and enlivening. Yeah, Vajanti also would like to say something.
Just a short thing also, that at the same, it's very important that we do this practice. At the same times, we know that only by, we were also reading yesterday in the Bhagavatam, only by the grace of the Lord that will happen. If you, it will happen, it will happen even spontaneously at some point. Now, but now we do this practice also to attract the mercy of the Lord. So it's good practice. Also, like after 2 or 3 days, you again read it one more time and try to keep it. But there will be a time when the Lord is pleased by all our endeavors and our heart become cleaner and cleaner, that also even just naturally this will flow into our heart. Now we make an endeavor, but at some point there will be no endeavor. It will be just the natural state of our consciousness. They will, like Prabhupada say, you have a television in your heart. So that will happen. Now we are just in the process of, we practically show to the Lord that we really want, we don't want any longer to live in this illusion. But so this helps us to feel that the spiritual world is reality. But ultimately we know that just by His grace and by the grace of the spiritual master, then this will be like revealed in our heart.
I also want to say that when we do that, it's actually we fulfill Krishna's instruction, because in the Bhagavad Gita he said 2 times, always think of me. So we are actually trying to think of him. And when he sees that, he's actually very pleased and very satisfied that we are trying to fulfill his instruction. And in the natural way, he will help us also to give us the ability, because our minds are just so disturbed and so full of so many other things. So when Krishna sees that we are trying, then he's actually helping us to enter into this dimension. It's not that we fall in the trap of thinking, oh, I'm just doing it myself. No, it's actually the Lord allowing us to enter into this realm when He sees we are willing, we have the eagerness and desire to be Krishna conscious.
Yeah, so what we are doing now is purifying our heart. Just keep the remembrance of these images in our, this is purify our consciousness, and then naturally it will be, it's a gradual.
Purnamasi
Thank you so
Mataji, would you like to also give some words of wisdom after this session?
I'm just thankful to you that you're preparing these sessions so that we can be part of it. Beautiful also with these 3 times reading. Last time I was not, I was just hearing, and it was really, first time hearing, okay, it goes. And then the second time, and when the third reading was there, it really, the image was so strong, much stronger. Really, one time is, so thank you.
We learned that with Srimati Mataji, who is living in Vrindavan. She's doing sometimes Sangha, and one time we were in her Sangha, and she was reading the qualities of Shri Krishna, and we were all the time reading 3 times. And it really helps to get the things deeper. It's repetition is very powerful to help Smaran, to help remembrance. Thank you. And I think, Nupur, we did not manage to hear it. The voice was cutting when you were speaking. I guess your internet was too low. Would you mind to maybe switch off the camera and try to speak again?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, I said it was really wonderful. I mean, all the meditations, but I could not imagine how a person feels when he's in ecstasy. Like there was a point when Lord Gauranga was roaring, and some were crying, some were laughing. So how that, no, I could not imagine that atmosphere. So can you please elaborate on this point?
Uh, sorry. Shanti wanted me to stop the Shinai. Sorry, I got, Nupur, I'm so embarrassed. I got diverted and I did not hear what you were saying. Can you please repeat? I'm very sorry.
No, Prabhuji, it's okay. Actually, I was saying that everyone was in ecstasy after honoring Chanamrit and having that cloth. So, how a person feels when he's in ecstasy, like I could not imagine that atmosphere. What was that atmosphere? I mean, some was crying, roaring. I mean, I really want to see. I want to, but I could not imagine. I tried to imagine, but I could not.
Yeah, it's in one sense it's easy because we can imagine personalities dancing, catching their feet, and like this. But at the same time, at our level, our consciousness is not so purified. So what we see, it's very vague. It's not it's difficult to see really Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and so it's whatever we are able to see, we feel happy about that. And whatever we are not able, we know it. We need some more purification of the heart, so that we will be able to see.
Yeah, I mean, from sometimes I don't know. Also, maybe it's an encouragement to participate in ecstatic kirtans. So that I mean, there is not maybe that ecstasy, but I do remember some kirtans where, yeah, it's amazing to see the devotees. Maybe they're not just crying, but there are like kind of, you can Shivaram Maharaj sometimes is also roaring. I don't know. There are some kirtan where really when some more advanced devotees come together and do kirtans, that's wonderful. So if you can take the opportunity, also that will give you some ideas how the kirtans of Lord Chaitanya look like.
Yes. No, it was really wonderful to even hear. So I was just thinking how wonderful if someone can, feel that ecstasy, or I mean, it was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And Prabhuji, I also wanted to mention that I never heard, I never tried to find any Shastric reference for Kopin and Charnamrit giving. Like in NOD, we have seen about Charnamrit, but regarding the copy of the benefit of having the cloth of Lord, I just read here. So now I think on the Nityananda appearance day, it will be very different after the reading. When we get a cloth, it will not be a cloth that will give us Krishna Prem. So it is, I think it should go on a next level when we now celebrate Nityananda appearance day.
Yeah. Also, when we will take the Charanamrita, we can also remember what happened to the devotees afterward, and we can really respect Charanamrita in a different way. Yeah, very nice. Okay, I don't know if Aman and Jambavati, would you like to say a few words? Sorry, but I will not be able to open my list.
Because I am in the
Yeah,
library. Okay.
sure. Okay, thank you. Jambavati is there. I don't know if she wants to say some words. Otherwise, we'll just conclude here. So thank you for joining us and see you next Saturday. All the best. Hare Krishna.
Jai Nitai.
Jai Nitai.
Jai Nitai. Hare Krishna.